Okay, so I actually did a recap of a snowboard season about 3 years ago when I did my first one. It actually did pretty well. So I'm going to recap this past snowboard year because I'm excited for this coming year because there's just like a lot of new changes and improvements coming. So I'm pretty pumped. So I'm not going to go through every video, but opening day at Mount Hood Meadows, which was my resort for this year, it looked like this. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It was literally a powder day. It was knee deep. They had some of the steeper runs open. The whole mountain wasn't open, but I mean, look at that. La Nina. Pretty good opening year. So I'm probably not going to skip too far around because I was a little bit rusty. Obviously, that was the first time I had ridden. But knee deep powder. I don't know what was going on. Okay, so this year, there's so much freezing fog. So much freezing fog this year in the Pacific Northwest. I actually learned about these little things that are kind of like, let's see if I can just permanently do some of the settings. Oh yeah, I learned that little kickflip drop thingy. I don't know exactly what it's called. This box is icy. You can kind of see the acceleration boost. Does it get on video? But you can kind of see this is happening in the GoPro lens. So my goggles looked a lot worse. So the year was kind of starting off weird with freezing fog because in the Pacific Northwest, the fog, it gets all damp and condensates on your goggles. Then it crystallizes and then that becomes just straight ice and you can't just wipe it off with like a normal lens wipe. They actually have these little things they sell. They're kind of like little, they're almost like windshield wipers. They're like scrapes or ice scrapes, I guess, if you know you're trying to get a lot of ice off of your windshield. So it's like this plastic that's supposed to not scratch your goggles. I don't know if I trust it, but yeah, literally you need an ice scraper for your goggles if you're going to ride in Oregon. So the freezing fog, you don't have to worry about that in places like Utah or Colorado or Arizona or something like that. And then that was with the GoPro 7, but then I ended up getting the GoPro 10 and I have a pretty beast computer, good memory card, so I'm able to shoot in 5K. I can do 60 frames a second. Didn't really enjoy that too much. I think the motion for snowboarding looks a little better unless you're riding in the terrain park at 30 frames a second. And this was also the first day I actually rode my Capita board, so I got that whole new setup. So as you can see kind of like right here in this video, I was riding the Burton Ripcord still. It was like icy powder. I don't know how to explain it. I think I got a clip a little later. I think it's actually in the Capita video. Yeah. So let me go to that one. That should be the next. Yeah, first day in the Capita. Look at this. It turns into ice. I mean, it was like harder than a pizza. But that was the first time riding the Capita. It's kind of having some issues. I definitely liked the springiness. I don't even know if I did a full review on the board yet. But it felt more aggressive, but it also turned faster. Not really much to show on that. I think that was the first time I landed a 360 though on flat, so I was pretty proud of that. That's like the biggest recap thing that I really liked. This was just ice. Probably not going to show too much. So like the La Nina year kind of like died down in January for some reason, and then it was just freezing fog and then rain, or it would be like that time it was hailing. I think that's what I was saying in the video, is that there was hail. So it was just like splattering my face. Like look at this visibility. There's like a few cliffs around here, not safe. The ground was really icy. Can we hear it?
Mountaineers, the first time they opened it up.
You can kind of hear that clicking.
Really hot and sweaty.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the rocks are ice.
I am so freaking done with the Pacific Northwest. Yeah,
yep, there's me saying I'm done with the Pacific Northwest.
Thanks.
At least we get powder and ice. The progression really started happening though later in the February trip I did, because every year I do a mega February trip. So let's see. Yeah, Mount Ashland was nice. Did that on the Indy Pass.
Chest in the distance, but There's
Had good views. It was pretty nice.
Very kind of local.
Let's see what
feel,
happened
and
here.
it's on the Indy Pass, so if you guys have an Indy Pass, definitely check it out.
So the groomers were kind of fast and nice. The upper mountain was really icy, very deadly. I got this like tail press back 180. I think that was the first time I've done that. But not really much to show at Mount Ashland. I don't even know how many resorts I hit this year. I haven't counted. There was a bank slalom at Mount Hood Meadows, and then they had some parks, so I kind of showed that. Sun Valley was where I went for my birthday, and that is insane. Yeah, it was -9. I went out in a t-shirt because I'm stupid. I had to pee. But look at these views. Sun Valley. El Stacker. Why have you not been to Sun Valley? It's literally your state. It's the biggest resort in your state. And it's got crazy views, and it's the biggest vertical drop. And, I mean, look at these groomers. Look, did you see how steep that groomer was? That was listed as a blue or a green, by the way. Yeah, I think this is just a green or a blue, but yeah, look at that. Look at that. I didn't GPS track how fast I went, but that's crazy. This is right here. This is a blue. Let's see if I can at least bust 1080p. They do spray a lot of artificial snow, so it was kind of weird to like ride like a firm icy groomer with like fake dusty powder on top. So that was something new, but the views are really good. It was really cold. Terrain parks were kind of fun at the, I think it's called Dollar Mountain. It's the smaller one. And let's see. Sun Valley is great. Yeah, this is scary. Do I have it? Yeah. So I booted out on ice. Here's like a cliff. Look at these. It's like frozen waterfalls and like ice right here. Yeah, this was scary right here. I think I hit a chip of ice. I think it's coming up. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that one was scary right there. Oh.
More ice. You see it? You hear it?
Too much ice.
So that's Oregon. Let's see. Okay, so the trip should be coming up. Yeah, okay, so this is when I did a whole trip to as many Epic Pass resorts as I could do, because I'm not doing Epic Pass ever again, I'll tell you that. I even kind of had a feeling about that ahead of time. Here's some trip footage I got in the middle of the trip. Okay, there's skating. Most of you guys, if you're watching this, you don't even care about my skate tricks, but so I started really like getting into back 180s this season. Now I can pretty much do them over like anything, and then I learned nose presses. So as you can see, nose press, nollie out. I think this was in Arizona, this little clip right here. Yeah, that was a failed tripod. But yeah, now I can just hop back 180 like all the time. Just the basic 50-50 front boards. Here's just me going full send down this thing at Bryan Head, Utah. What do I do here? Weird little half cab things. Yep. Cheesy back 180. Did some spins for L Stacker here, because shout out to L Stacker Adventures. But I started getting really good at just trying to back 180. Just would do as many back 180s as I could. Okay, that was bad. I'm going to skip this video. So I learned back 360s, and then I started getting really consistent at the back 180s. Bryan Head, just one of my favorite resorts, because they got crazy views. What is up with this? Groomers are always great. Snow's always soft, even if they have to make snow a lot, just because it's the highest elevation resort in Utah. So you always just have this dust, as you can see in this little video. It's always fun to just send it. And it's sunny like every single day there too. I haven't actually been on a powder day. There was a powder night one time. Yeah, I was working on springing up my ollies because the Burton ripcord I had did not spring up. It did not ollie. it was just kind of floppy, very soft though, but you couldn't really launch out of stuff. Okay, here's me just sending it. Oh no, this was actually the video that I showed you in the other clip. So yeah, Brian Head, big shout out. Snow Basin, also really nice. This was one of their steeps. It was still kind of icy in some points, but really pretty views, really steep. Definitely would love to go to Snow Basin on like a powder day. Like I actually think that a Snow Basin would like if you can go on a Bluebird powder day, it may even be better than Snowbird. Yeah, I'm not gonna finish that. I didn't really do too much. I just kind of rode some groomers on that trip because it was the beginning of the trip, and I went to the famous Park City, biggest resort in America. I couldn't obviously do the whole resort because I only had a day there, but I tried to do a lot of stuff, and it was just the lift lines were insane. Their terrain parks that were pretty good, but the problem was the terrain parks were shared with the normal lift lines that you have to ride with all the Jerry's. So yeah, and then obviously you had like a lot of people zigzagging, people cutting you off. Like, look at this guy. I mean, gosh dang. Barely any snowboarders too. It was all like skiers, and nothing against skiers. I mean, you guys have seen some of my videos. There's plenty of like skiers doing some sick tricks in my videos, but these like 60-year-old skiers, and a lot came from the East Coast. Like I was on the chairlift, and they're like, "Oh, we flew in here from New Hampshire. Oh, we flew here from Minnesota." Like all these people that are not used to like big runs like that, so they're just kind of acting like tourists. And I mean, I just drive and ride everywhere, so I didn't like that. And then the lift lines were insane. I heard somebody in the line yell, "Epic lift lines." Oh yeah, and then I went to Vail, which surprisingly the lift lines are not that good, but look at this. I can't do mobiles. I mean, I can to survive, but like they're not fun, so I'd rather just skip. But no, Vail actually had some pretty soft snow, and there weren't any lift lines. Maybe nobody wanted to go because it was cloudy, but Vail was less crowded than Breckenridge or the other places, which, by the way, this little video kind of went, I want to say semi-viral, but it got more views than the other ones on the trip. So check this out. This was the icy snow at Breckenridge. This was like a Tuesday, midweek. Just bam, wipeout, Jerry collision. Whoa, bro. Oh snap, go to the bunny slope and learn to get off the lifts. Saw someone fall in the corner. Just so many people going turn to turn. What is that? Nice hurricane winds, very nice, very nice. Very great day. Oh, took me 38 minutes. I was thinking it was longer. And there was nowhere else I could go. But it had pretty views, I can't deny that. Breckenridge, the views were amazing. That and Keystone, which, speaking of Keystone, let's see, do I show off the views? Oh yeah, people falling. This guy, like, what was that? He looked like he was pooping while going on the turn. And then you got medics and ski patrol going down with the little sled to get someone. And then from the top, just to like try to get from the main top of the gondola over to Area 51 to even check out the terrain park, it looks like this. Like, it's scary. Like, honestly, riding a run like this is more scary. Look at that. It's more scary than like trying to hit a 20-foot jump. Views were really good at Keystone though, so I don't know if there's like a better time to go. Maybe a local could show me around. My favorite Colorado resort, holy moly, Crested Butte was amazing. The snow was soft, the views were amazing. It was cold. They had a really good terrain park. You know, it wasn't like the biggest, but it had some like cool little features to do some stuff. Obviously I couldn't do Rambo because I don't even know. I think it was during the drought portion of February, so they didn't have any fresh snow. There was no powder. It was just groomers, and so Rambo was probably icy moguls at that point, so I couldn't really do that. But literally no lift lines. Like, you guys can see the chairlift, one of them. There was actually mini chairlifts, but even the main one had like less than a 5-minute one straight from the lodge. I mean, look at that. Literally just ride onto a lift in Colorado. Yeah, and that's when I started. I think this was the point in the trip when I started getting more confident trying back when he was actually riding faster. So that was pretty great. I went back to Sunrise Resort. I'm just gonna skip that because there's a lot of controversy around the videos I make at the resort, but they have improved. If you guys are aware of the series on the Sunrise Park videos I've been doing the past 3 years, then you know what I'm talking about. So Arizona Snowball, it was just icy. My edges wouldn't give in. Kind of skipped it. I don't even remember what this was. This was probably just like a filler video. It was just spring powder. Yeah, some nice runs. You could kind of see some ice clicking there. But, you know, March powder is always good. So the way that our winter worked is we got all of the snow in like December, which my pass didn't work because it was peak season and I had a value pass. And then, oh yeah, I learned powder tail presses, I guess you could say. But I couldn't ride in December, so then in January and like February it was just all like freezing fog and ice, and then the powder started to come in late spring. Yeah, went on Thrifty Thursdays. They have free, it's $29 for a lift ticket. Here's the first Bluebird powder day I even had at my own local home resort. It took all the way until the end of March to actually just get a Bluebird powder day. And it's like wet Pacific Northwest Cascade snow. So if you've ever ridden up here, then you know what that is. You don't the snow, as you can see, like the powder, it doesn't go below your, like over your snowboard. You just kind of like ride on top of it and it feels like surfing. But it is fun because you can kind of like bounce around and like you can actually carve. So that's what's cool. It's just not as good on video. I did Bogus Basin video with L Stacker, so little pond skim kind of thingy there. See, like I said, there's good skiers. That guy just sent it. He rode with us, he was pretty good. It was getting like really hot and sticky, so the box had no wax. I don't even know. I should have done something like that riding, because that's the type of skating combos I'm doing now too. Yeah, look, boom, back 360 on flat. That was a good helmet mount of one. Yeah, just full send flat basin down the mountain. Where is he? Yeah, here's where L Stacker pops up. And then North Star, it was just empty, kind of icy. They had really good terrain parks. I like that at North Star in Tahoe. Kirkwood was great. It was powder, but I had gone to Heavenly first that morning, and then I went to Kirkwood later, and like the sun came out and actually had really warm temperatures, so it became like tracked out powder glue. So I tried to do some of the steep runs, but I'd like to go back to Kirkwood on like an actual powder day and just race to like some of the double blacks. And Heavenly, a lot of Jerry's, lift lines not that good. Pretty long, not too long. The views were amazing. I mean, that's why you go to Heavenly. You go because it's right there in town and because of the beautiful lake. They actually had some decent terrain parks. And some good tree runs. A few stumps that were under there. I think they only got like 2 inches of snow, and it was just the upper mountain, and then the lower mountain got rain, so it was mixed conditions. I mean, it was freaking April, so oh yeah, more people like that. That's Heavenly. It's like the Vale of California. Timberline, I don't think I did too much. Here was a bad fall I had. Good thing I was wearing a helmet. So the snow got springy and I caught an edge going really fast and it just slingshot me. Because they finally opened up this like kind of little backcountry area. Luckily I was wearing a helmet. Surprised I didn't like pull my back out. Okay, you can kind of see the ridges and the bumps in the snow, and you can kind of clearly see how my body is like going up and down. Yeah. I think I was more shaken up than actually injured on that fall, but ooh, it was crazy. And then I finally did Heather Canyon. They didn't have super deep snow, but I had to rush to do it, and yeah, as you can see, like how steep it is. Like this thing was like almost like a vertical wall, and that little drop that I did at the beginning right here was probably like 4 to 6 feet. I mean, it wasn't like a big cliff drop, but if I had stood like right here, like up to it, it probably would have like gone to my neck, and I'm 6 feet, so. But yeah, I was definitely trying to do a little speed check here. Yeah, and somebody had just died in that area too recently, so I think they were being extra careful about the avalanches. Went to Mount Bachelor, Bluebird Powder Day in May. I hiked to the cone. This is how steep the cone is, so as you can see, towards the end of this season, I was starting to do some steeper runs. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's some ice. Nice little back shifty. Here's like a little drop into some powder. Mount Bachelor to the locals is also called Mount Flatula because it's also fairly flat unless you like really kind of hike to the more backcountry spots like the cone or like the big upper bowls areas. But they're great for terrain parks and it's fun. And the views are amazing. And then Bend is just a really cool town. I don't even know what's doing there. Yeah, okay. So obviously I suck. This is when I started to learn 360s. I kept slipping out. And then here's when I got my very first 360 like off of a jump that I'm proud of. Well, it was side hit. Yeah, so there. I didn't even think I was going to get those by the end of the season, honestly. But I need to do it over like a real jump. Here was a June powder, oh, like the last week of May.
Hey, where's everybody at?
Nobody was there. Do I have any views? Yeah, so it was inversion day too, so we got some powder and got to go above the clouds, so that was great. So we're almost to the end of the video, wrapping it up. This was the closing day. It was the last day of May. So they actually got some powder, and then it kept transitioning between snow and sun. Like you can see it snowing. So it was snowing on closing day. And then it'd go sunny, and then it'd go snow, and then it'd go sunny. So it was just pretty much you just stay until the day closes. And then I got to meet up with Snowboard Pro Camp.
Yo, what's up everyone? Kevin here from Snowboard Pro Camp, out riding with Face Skater here at Timberline. It's spring, but we're still getting snow. I think like at least like 10 inches have fallen in the last 24 hours. But we're just gonna have a fun time riding through the park and exploring.
So yeah, the weather was crazy. It was actually really cold. Here's Kevin doing 360. And then I did some tricks, and then I got to film with Board Archive, and TJ is just, I mean, look how fat that method was. Like, Bam. That's actually a really long gap in person,
What
too.
up, TJ here with Board Archive. We're out for LDOH here at T-Line. Got some rail set up, got some fresh snow. Let's get it.
So it was pretty fun to ride with TJ, who's pretty consistent. I was just busting hammers, got the stees, as you can see. Whole video is sick, actually, if you want to go watch it, especially in like, did I upload it in 5K? Yeah, so it's actually in 5K. Let's see if my internet will do this. Well, my internet will do it, but the video when I'm recording this as a screen recording is not going to see. So if you guys want to go see the raw 5K, then obviously go on my channel and then look for the Board Archive video, because this steady cam horizon lock thing they have with the GoPro 5 and then 5K video looks pretty sick, especially with the way the lighting was going. So I think that was the last of my snowboarding thing. So I got to start off kind of rusty, getting used to a new board, bad weather, started kind of getting into the board, started to get better at back 180s, learned really good back 360s. I didn't go to the clips, but there were some things where I was like doing really fat back 180s, like out of jumps, side hips, like over gaps and stuff. So that was cool. I also learned hot garbages. Don't have that footage. Snowboard Pro Camp should be uploading it later in the year, so maybe we'll see that, because I'd like to see that. And then I learned a few other weird things, like a hot garbage back 180 revert or something like that. So then I did my February trip, did a bunch of cool stuff there, just, you know, started getting into the groove of more things, breaking in my new board, and then came back to some spring powder at Mount Hood, did the steepest run of my life at Heather Canyon, the A to Z Bowl, which like nobody ever does, even if you look it up on YouTube. And then I did the hardest part, and that was actually by accident. I was trying to avoid the crowds, and then I saw the drop. I assumed where all the crowds were, they had a drop too, but then when I looked back up the mountain, they didn't have the cliff drop thing, so I'm kind of proud of myself for that. And then I started getting better at park riding, doing some more park stuff. And then I got to finish off the season with TJ from Board Archive and Snowboard Pro Camp. So this coming year, I already have an Indy Pass. So I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to try to do more resorts. I'm also like trying to stretch more. I've been doing like knees over toes guy exercises. And I'm trying to condition myself and get more fit, lose a little bit of weight, so then like I'm gonna be able to do a lot more park riding this year. I mean, yeah, powder's fun, but I really want to push myself to like actually start doing like 360s and new grabs over jumps, maybe learn like a tweaked method or something, because I already got shifties and I have melon grabs. I just need to kind of combine those and then tweak it and do a method. So anyways, subscribe. Lots of snowboard videos. Obviously I'll travel a lot, probably hit like 20-30 new resorts this year. We'll be pushing my limits, because this is going to be my third official year riding. Technically I got 2.5, because they cut off 1 year for the COVID thing. So still pretty new. Don't expect maybe like Casey Willax or other pros that are doing crazy stuff, but you know, I'm progressing, I'm learning stuff, I'm always out there grinding and trying to do new things with snowboarding. And then obviously I have skate videos, as you guys can see, and I've done some gold painting things. So anyways, subscribe and let me know what type of snowboard stuff you want to see this season, or what your local resort is, because I may be moving away from Mount Hood. I don't know where I'd be going yet. So smash the like, subscribe, bell icon, all of that, and enjoy.